As far as you're concerned, young lady, you are here to talk to us about Just Stop Oil, Rachel.
Exactly. And as world leaders right now, of course, are jetting off to Dubai for the start of COP28. Here in the UK, Just Stop Oil continue their own battle to try and tackle climate change. And they believe that the only way to achieve success in that field is to continue these huge stunts, this disruption, whether it's slow marching or other such things, which has really caused a huge headache for police and members of the public. And last week, for the first time ever, I was granted exclusive access to one of their training sessions, which is where they teach potential new recruits how to operate on the streets. Go.
What the is this?
This is a role play.
Who the hell do you think you are? What gives you the right to stand on the road? I'm trying to get to hospital.
It's also a pretty good example of the fury Just Stop Oil receive from the public when they march. Before anyone can go out with Just Stop Oil, they first have to take part in a day-long non-violent training session. And what's happening behind me right now is a role-play exercise. They are practising slow marching, that technique which has brought parts of London to a standstill, causing a huge headache for both the police and the public. To date, they've cost the police more than £18.5 million. This lesson is where they learn tricks like going floppy to make arrests harder and how to stay calm in tense situations.
So remember that they're human and recognise that humanity in them. Don't just see them as the angry driver or the upset person.
They were also shown footage from past protests where members of the public became violent.
People are getting shoved there, but those people aren't pushing back. They're just rolling, we're being pushed, they're letting themselves be pushed, and then just walking back into place.
So would the potential recruits feel guilty about causing this disruption for real?
I don't feel guilty about stopping people going to work.
The current cost of living crisis?
Well, I mean, I think it's it's a scale, isn't it?
What gives you the right to say, well, I can disrupt somebody else because I think this cause is more important?
Because to me, it's quite a big thing.
And for this group, tackling climate change matters more than anything else. It doesn't matter if it's a hospital appointment or if they're just trying to go shopping, you know, people have a right to live their lives.
If non-disruptive protest worked, we would be doing that. It's not a sort of we're doing it because it's fun or because we just want to disrupt people's day. We're doing this because we desperately need the government to change its policy. And if it doesn't change its policy, we're going to see even more disruption.
Since Just Stop Oil started, the only real legal change has been the strengthening of police powers over protesters. And many believe these stunts only damage the climate cause. But it's clear there are still those prepared to join them for the first time as they vow to carry on. And as you'd expect, there's been quite a reaction to this report already this morning, including from the Security Minister, Tom Tugendhat. You asked him about this earlier, and he was pretty strong in his response about what Just Stop Oil continue to do.
Look, I'd say very clearly that the British people have made their views clear, because the idea that stopping ambulances outside hospitals or blocking roads when people are trying to get to work is somehow some justified protest is I'm afraid, is completely wrong. You know, we've all seen the deep frustration that we all share when some idiot is sitting in front of the road in order to try and make their case, when there's thousands of people who are trying to simply live their lives. It's gross selfishness, and it's quite right that we've changed the law on this and the police are taking very robust action.
And those demonstrations pausing now until the new year, probably just as well because it's flipping freezing today. Rachel, thanks very much indeed. Many of you will have woken up to a particularly frosty morning. Yellow warnings for snow and ice